it back. They have won the Stanley Cup.
I think it's tough enough to win one. We've done two, so you might as well go for three, right?
Our time, baby, back to back. That's how we do it.
What do you think of this team?
Unbelievable. Nobody can beat us. Back to back years.
It's so much fun to be a part of. The crowd can have an effect on teams. The emotions get turned up.
And then last year, they gave Vezina to somebody else. Number one bullshit. Oh, number one bullshit.
I don't give a shit what people say about Florida and hockey, but this is the best hockey town ever.
Here it is for you guys. Enjoy.
Welcome to We, the Thunder, the only podcast where it's perfectly acceptable to take off your shirt and run right off the screen if you have to. Just want to put that out there so you guys know that that's okay here. Gentlemen, we just saw the Tampa Bay Lightning with a huge 7-2 win after we saw them lose 3 straight games over the past week. So obviously we'll talk a little bit about those losses, but we'll talk about the big win tonight, scoring 7 goals. Nice way to come back. Got a big announcement we'll announce in the next, 10 minutes. We got a shooter game. So if you like trivia, stick around because we're going to play a shooter game here maybe in the next 20 minutes. And we'll just go around the horn real quick with your thoughts on tonight's beatdown in Columbus. I'll start first. Why not? Hey, I love it anytime we can beat the Columbus Blue Jackets because if you guys remember, we were on the losing side in their biggest moment in franchise history in the first round of the playoffs in 2019 Stanley Cup playoffs.
Doesn't ring a bell. Doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah, I blocked that one out. But anyways, what do you guys think of tonight's game? Good bounce back.
Yeah, sorry. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry. I mean, what's there to say about it? I mean, it's pretty much domination the entire game from early on. Not quite early on. I mean, it was kind of back and forth a little bit early, but the Lightning were skating, looking like kind of their normal self, and I mean. Multi-point games from Powey, from Pointer, 400 for 400 points for Powey, 400 goals for Corey Perry. That whole line, the fourth line, or
almost
line, or whatever you want. You're talking about all three of those guys put it in the net tonight. Power play was on fire. I mean. Yeah, coming off the last 3 games, it's almost as if those games didn't exist, and we'll just pretend that they ever played those games, and we'll just watch this as the type of Lightning hockey that we like to see.
You know, we're going to see these lopsided games in the next couple weeks to a month. Columbus had quite a few players of their starters in COVID protocol, including their starting goalie. But if you would have told me we won 7-2, with no goals from a Kucherov, a Stamkos, 1 goal from Braden Point, 1 goal from Killer, I would have been like, who the hell scored? When you go down the score sheet, you had all but 5 players at least get 1 point tonight. 5 out of the 18 didn't get a point. And Joseph came pretty close once again to another shorty. breakaway. He's going to connect on those one time, but I thought it was a pretty good dominant game that they needed after the down from 3 losses. We've heard the last couple of days that Vasi 11 days no practice when he was in COVID protocol. That first game back, he let in some early first period goals and then really shut the door on them the rest of the way, only giving up one more the rest of the game. So tonight he looked more Vasi-like.
Yeah, played well. Only let in 2, and they were 2 pretty decent goals. So we had Ross the Boss out on the COVID list tonight, but we got back Dave Randorf. And I don't know, guys. Rick Peckham filled in these 3 games during that 3-game losing streak. Maybe it's a sign, Rick. You gotta stay retired.
Go out on top, baby. Go out on top.
Ramsdorf even pointed that out, saying it was great having you fill in for me, but I think they scored more goals tonight than all your games combined.
Love it.
So yeah, it was funny because everybody was so happy that Peckham was back, but we got 1 point out of the possible 6 from those 3 games. We did get the 1 point on the shootout with New York.
Yeah, and I noticed the other thing they got back to was, getting some of their guys back. I guess they had Sorelli for last game, but they put back together Sorelli, Stamkos, Killer, Palat, Point, Joseph, and, it seemed to pay off for sure, especially that Point Palat duo.
And
Coming in strong.
Colton was scratched right before the game. He was placed in COVID protocol, so he won't be available for Thursday's game either. But
didn't they say he was practicing with the team today?
Yeah. But then they, right before the game, literally they announced it as the team came out for warmups that he was on COVID protocol. But Taylor Radish stepped in. But now we've been hearing a lot of chatter that on Thursday we won't need any kind of Colton or Radish. There's going to be someone else in there filling in.
I wonder if there's someone they can put on that Palat Point line on
day to day.
The wing.
Some of them might be day to day.
Yeah, someone who they're definitely been hinting at that he is going to make his home return this coming Thursday, and that would be
number 1 bullshit. Oh, number 1 bullshit.
Not
Nikita
number 1
Kucherov,
bullshit.
It's sounding more and more like Thursday will be his back to the NHL since Game 3 that he got injured in. So, and I think with Colton being out, that's just going to even kind of ensure it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Exciting.
No rush, I say. No rush in him back if you don't need to.
He's been practicing for quite a while. So
like I said, if he's ready, I think he's probably been ready for like a week or whatever now. It's just a matter of timing and everything else and making sure so that you don't have to rush him back, that he is 100%. But I mean, I feel like the rest of the league is probably a little bit nervous right now, and they'll never admit it. But I would have to say that they're a little bit nervous to see the Lightning already atop the standings, having weathered the storm of Braden Point missing 14 games, and Cooch has now missed half the season,
pretty much the whole season.
So, we're halfway through the season, and he's missed this so far. So
and weathering the COVID storm. I mean,
right.
You got to think we've had almost half of our team now that have went into the protocol.
Right.
So you pretty much have passed it along through most of the team, and now you're getting Kucherov back.
Yeah.
You've got to believe there's teams shitting their pants right now.
Yeah, and they're already. It's like we're already right there atop the league. Still, even after losing those 3 games, we're 1 point coming in tonight. I didn't see.
But there is some games played issues there because there's a lot of teams that are going to have to make up several games.
We're ahead in games now, so they're in a good position. I don't know if you can say that about the other teams with their injuries and just being in the standings. It's looking good for the Lightning. I like Pat Maroon, banged your mom's comment here. She needs more exposure, which is a good reminder. hit the like button, hit the share button,
Sure.
one or the other, maybe
Subscribe.
both. And we're going to have an announcement here in the next 5 minutes that if you're a Pat Maroon fan, you might like this one.
You might want to stick
this
around.
one. And we're going to do trivia. And if you're a Pat Maroon fan, you're going to like that trivia even better. So
There you go.
I mean, how do we break down this game? Do we just list all of the goals that we scored? Because we don't have that long to do this show.
Yeah.
So let's do it. Tampa Bay scores almost, I guess, in the first 5 minutes with a Palat power play goal. I didn't realize that was Palat's first power play goal of the season,
Which is crazy.
Yeah. But he's been on and off the power play. He had some scary moments in that first period with these guys blocking shots. Where
Cerny
Chernak
again.
came off. Sergachev was a little bit hobbled. Yeah, I mean, what kind of sucks? Like, what are you going to do? Tell them not to block shots? No, of course they're going to block shots, but they've got to learn how to block these shots correctly. Don't turn. You got to take it.
Yeah,
take it
like a man or a hockey player or whatever. No, yeah,
and then Palat right afterwards, deflection, 2-0, 400th career point.
It was an insane deflection. Like he's going full speed
awesome.
from the net, twists his body around. It's a full speed shot from the point from McDonough. And he gets a shaft of his stick on that as he's twisting and turning and gets the perfect deflection. It was amazing.
Just the tip with the shaft. So yeah, 2-0 right away. It was pretty funny. I don't know if you guys saw the interview with Palat after the second period, but he didn't even have a clue. He was at 400 career.
He's like, 400. Oh, that's nice.
And he was like, yeah, I don't really care because we just won 2 Stanley Cups.
Yeah,
that was pretty funny.
I'm trying to win a third one before they don't have the money to re-sign me.
Yeah, exactly. Before the trade deadline, right. I got to get up there. If I can get to 450, they'll keep me.
One more goal in that first period. Corey Perry, what is this? Three straight games? Well, I guess we didn't score against the Rangers. So 3 out of the last 4 games, he's had that goal right in front, right in his office, right outside the crease. And
all
the
first
goals he wasn't scoring.
The first 2 tied the game to take him into overtime, and then this one was the game winner.
Yeah, now he just does it, often. So that 9th goal in 16 games, and he didn't score a goal in the first 17 games of the season. So, he's really kind of scoring, and that's what this team really needs with, the depth to be scoring goals, especially when you got guys like Cooch that are out, and, with him coming back and they're getting that scoring, all good. Second period, Columbus did score their 2 goals in the second period. One was a rebound. The other was Nyquist all alone. It was just a bad change. So kind of sloppy, but, you can't stop them all. We scored point, ripped one, absolute sniper, 4-1 at that point. You got the big rig getting on the board tonight, 5-2 on a rebound. They were just going in for the Bolts. Carried over to the third period. Bellemare with a really nice shot as well. And then Killer put one in as well. After that Palat second goal, I was thinking, I want to scream hat trick, the words hat trick, because after we were talking about it last week, and I did. I put it on Twitter.
And we didn't get one.
I didn't do it till after the second period. So I was like, yeah, what could go wrong now? And I called the Palat hat trick, which I guess he's never had before, but wasn't meant to be tonight. But the Bolts win 7-2 overall. A really great bounce back game, a game I think they really needed. If they lost 4 straight, I mean, I don't remember the last time they lost 4 straight. Oh wait, I do. It's against the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Against this team. And now the ironic part was now we've won 4 straight against them.
Yeah. Where are all those? Wait, I'm waiting for them to show up in YouTube or whatever. All these Columbus Blue Jackets fans to remind us of their biggest moment in franchise history.
Yeah.
They have a banner for that.
first round divisional win.
But I was listening on the radio before before the actual game, I was listening to the pregame show, and they did a great interview with Coot, and he says he credits that 4-0 loss to those 2 Stanley Cups. He said, had we not been humiliated in that sweep against Columbus, we would not have had a Coleman. We would not have had a Gaudreau. We would not have had the success that we had the following 2 seasons. So he gives them 100% credit for making this team the badass team that they are.
I always tell them thank you. They would ever like try to roll or troll, like, oh, 4-0 sweep. I'm like, thanks. See what it did for us.
Yeah, we won 2 Stanley Cup since. Thanks.
Back to back, going through you along the way, back to back.
Yeah. And another thing, Cooper.
So Torts, we'll see you around, right, on ESPN, but not unless you don't get ESPN Plus, I guess. I don't know. So some people think that that's too expensive. I don't know.
Another Cooper thing that I heard tonight that I thought was really interesting was that they were talking about when Cooch does return, who do you sit? And we've debated this, and he said the problem is it's going to be a hard decision to make, and he said. And if there's any team out there and they said, well, that's an easy decision, I would just sit this person. He goes, that means your team's not good.
Yeah.
He said, saying it's going to be a hard decision and have to debate who you're going to have to sit. He said, that's a good problem to have.
Yeah, that's not a problem. That's just a tough decision. That's a good thing, a good situation to be in. And that's something we've talked about continuously for the last 3 seasons. Everyone was so concerned about that third line from last season, having to leave town and where the depth was coming from. And I found it kind of funny because all we've talked about the last 2 seasons is some of this young talent that doesn't have room, and everyone keeps crying when the Carter Verhaeghes get shipped out of town. And now it made room for those kind of guys to come up and step up on the roster. And you've seen they're doing their job, and not to mention I don't think we can talk enough about this fourth line. The fine wine line, the school bus line, whatever they call it. They've I think have picked up the slack from that third line the last 2 seasons more than anyone else, for sure. In my book, the kid line has come in and done their job here and there. Some of the other guys have filled in, but I really think that fourth line.
They all 3 scored tonight.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't understate the fact that even in a 7-0 victory, that's huge to have all 3 of those guys on the scoreboard, and often. I mean, that's 6 points for that team, for that line tonight. 5 points for that line. So I mean,
but why do we have that line? And I'm a huge supporter of this player, but
you're a huge Corey Perry fan, right?
Well, hey, I defended Corey Perry the day we signed him. Me and you were both in that same boat, defending him. As soon as I announced it on Thunderbolts, it was nasty, and I'm like, that's one. But Yanni Gourde, I mean, let's be honest. If it wasn't for Seattle taking Yanni Gourde, we don't get Corey Perry. We don't get Bellemare. We don't have the money for that kind of stuff.
I mean, it would have been somebody, though. It would have been Palat. It would have been Killer. It would have been one of those 3 guys that freed up that money, and something would have had to, if Yanni stays, he moves up into one of those 2 roles that are left, and then they still have to kind of
Yanni was making more than Killer, wasn't he?
But 1 million more. Not quite, like 800,000 more. And actually, Pally makes the most out of all 3 of them.
And then Tyler Johnson, if we didn't get rid of Tyler Johnson. I mean, literally, it was those 2 package dealed, losing those 2 guys from the team that really bring us this bus line.
That 1.8 million that we need.
Yeah.
For that line. That's $2.8 million on the books for that line right now.
Because I was going to say, what we get Corey for, $1 million, right?
Him and Big Rig $1 million each, and Bellemare is $850 or $800, something like that. So it's like 2.8 million for that line, and they're just carrying the bottom end of this team. It's crazy.
This is a good segue to our big announcement.
Our huge
because
announcement. We are moving on up, ladies and gentlemen.
One of those guys is not making as much money. He's had to turn to other financial ways,
entrepreneurship,
to make some extra dollars. And I'm talking about the Big Rig.
Yeah.
So we've entered some sort of partner sponsorship with, we've talked about him before. We've got the hair flow going on this show. Well, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. But our guys at Letty Dressing, they are kind of our first official sponsor. That is Patty Maroon's hair care company. And guess what? They have way more than hair care products. So we're going to go through the website maybe next week, and we're going to have a promo code, and they're sending some goodies. So as soon as I can get these guys together for a watch party, you guys are invited, and goodies for you guys. We also are going to bring back the 3 stars of the chat as well. So once I see kind of what we have available, we'll kind of pick our first star of the chat, and you'll win something. So anyway, a good reason to have a good, clever, funny comment. Shampoo in the stash. That would be one of them, Kevin. So with that news and with Patty's goal tonight, I've decided to make a new shooter game. And this is going to be host first host. I'm gonna be the actual host of the game. So it's going to be Schoolie versus the Stash. And
As
the
usual.
theme of the trivia type of game that we're doing today is Who's a Maroon Moron? It is Patty Maroon trivia. Here it is. Let's bring it up here and let's get this party started. You guys can play at home, but I don't want you guys to give away the answers right away. So we're gonna go 1 for 1. Pick a number between 1 and 10, and that person's gonna go first.
7.
4.
2. Schoolie, you're going up first. So here it is. This is Patrick Maroon trivia. Thomas Schoolie, you're gonna kick us off here. Which is not a nickname for Pat Maroon?
C.
A, Fat Pat. B, Big Rig. C, Peppermint Patty. Or D, Hometown Hero. You're going with C?
Patty. Yeah.
Peppermint Patty is correct. I don't know why Hometown Heroes was highlighted there, but you've got 1 point. So I've got to keep track of our score here. So let me figure out how I'm going to do that. Be nice if I actually had. Wait, I do actually have something to write with.
Isn't that your office that you're in?
Yeah, but I don't write too much stuff. All right, so we've got Schoolie.
I got my own little sponsor, little Rice Krispies. Okay, go ahead.
Schoolie with 1, Stash with 0, but he hasn't had a chance yet. So we're gonna give Schoolie his point.
People's already answering. People's already answering.
Question number 2.
Yeah. It's San Jose. I was
San
just
Jose.
waiting for you to get your shit together, but I did know this. I did not need Pat Maroon bang your mom.
Listen,
to spoil it for me.
These guys are
But
good.
I do appreciate the support and the enthusiasm of our viewers. So yeah, it's all for fun, anyways.
The next one is for Schoolie, and this is what team drafted Maroon? The Ducks, the Flyers, the Senators, or Blues? Stop pulling up stats on your phone, Schoolie.
I'm sitting here looking right at you.
We're gonna give you that one. We're gonna give you that one. All right, these guys are good. These guys are good. I mean, that's why they're co-hosts here. All right, Stash. It gets tough here though.
Yeah.
What
I
round
feel like
was Maroon drafted in?
I feel like it was a 2nd round draft pick.
2nd round draft pick. That is our first miss.
Nah, it's like he's 160th or something like that.
No, I don't, because I remember his story, but like I remember his story was like when he came in the league, he was kind of like a dynamic. Like they were looking for him to blossom, and he didn't really. It took him a little, like 4 or 5 years in the league to find this place out in Anaheim. So I couldn't remember how high he was drafted. That's what threw me off.
He was playing the long game. He actually never played, I believe, with the Flyers at all.
Flyers. No, he only played for their AHL affiliates.
All right, Schoolie, you already got the lead, a chance to extend it. It's 2-1. What former NHL star is credited with helping discover Maroon? Teemu Selanne, Brett Hull, Al McGinnis, or Pat LaFontaine?
Hull.
Hull is incorrect. Al McGinnis.
Al McGinnis. See, I knew that one.
The St. Louis, he was a defenseman. I believe. Big shot, Al McGinnis. It was Al McGinnis and somebody else that I'd never heard of that discovered him up there in St. Louis, where he's from. All right, Stash, you have a chance to come back here and tie it up. What was Maroon's highest goal total in the NHL? It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Gave you the options, though.
Yeah.
I know these guys really like multiple choice. If we do a trivia that doesn't have multiple choice, they really struggle.
Mutiny.
I don't know. We did good on the one time.
There's been a couple that we're not too bad about overall. All right, man. I gotta do a shot in the dark here. Too many. 20. B.
Shut that off. B.
I knew it was 20. I knew it was a freaking. It was a trap.
27. In this next question, Schoolie, it is based off of that one. What team was he with when he scored those 27 goals?
Ducks.
Oilers, Blues, Ducks, Devils. You're going Ducks, and it is the Oilers. Yeah,
yep.
he got to play with Connor McDavid in the early days of Connor McDavid. All right, so it's still anyone's game. It's 2-1. Schoolie with the lead, but Stash has a question here to answer to catch up. Who was the last Bolt to wear number 14?
Ooh.
Adam Ernie, JT Miller, Chris Kunitz, or Anton Strollman?
Is that Kunitz?
Yeah.
Go and see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it. It is tied up, and we are down to, I believe, the last two questions. Don't worry. I planned ahead. There is a tiebreaker if you tie. All right, so let's go with we got the question here. What number did Maroon wear in Edmonton? 7, 19, 68, or 15? It's tough. These get tougher as you go. I don't know if you guys noticed this.
Well, I'm debating between two. I'm gonna go with 7.
7 was what he wore on St. Louis when he won his first cup.
It was 19.
19. He wore actually a couple numbers throughout his career. He switched it up quite a bit. I wonder why he has 14 now.
I also think it's funny that he wore 19.
All right, Stash
for
the win.
Yeah.
In 2007, Maroon was an MVP. 13 years ago. Which league was he the MVP of?
The WHL.
The WHL is incorrect.
Oh, I was going to say, get it for the win.
The NAHL.
So North American Hockey League. He's very proud of that. He's very proud of the North American Hockey League.
All right. So we have the final tiebreaker. The winner gets absolutely nothing except street cred, mad street cred around Tampa. And with Pat Maroon and Letty Tressing. So the tiebreaker here is, how many career goals does Maroon have? You better not be looking it up, Schoolie. Both of you. I want an answer now.
I was gonna say I'm sitting here with two screens and have like the world at my fingertips, and you're on Schoolie's ass.
No,
just so you know, if you didn't notice, the light changed. The light changed in here because I closed the screen, the window on my other screen.
And you were pulled up NHL.com.
Right.
All right, Schoolie, give me an answer.
Stats on it.
Career goals, NHL.
I swear he just had a milestone. And are we counting tonight or are we not counting tonight?
Tonight is in the mix.
101. Didn't he just have his 100th goal?
I think it's wow. I mean, he had 27 in one season. I know he hasn't ever been that prolific, but he had a 27 goal season. So I mean, a lot of stuff. 132.
Holy crap!
Over. Am I
132. Schoolie says 101. Survey says 108.
Yeah, way over.
Schoolie is the closest, and he is our Pat Maroon trivia winner. That means the Stash is a Maroon moron.
How many is there this season?
How
many we got this season?
I gotta pull that back up now that I closed it. Damn it. Where's my cursor?
All right, so yeah, let's look that up. More to come with.
He's got 7 this season.
7 this season.
He ended last year with 101.
101.
I remember hearing 100 goals, and I was like, "Has he had that many this year? Does it count tonight?"
Yeah, it must have been last year, right? So yeah, stay tuned. We'll see.
Gave
what
him
we
too
can
much
do.
credit with that 27 goal season.
Yeah,
It's
you
like,
did.
oh, he's probably had a couple more, like 10 or 12. He probably hasn't had double digit goal seasons except for like maybe 3 times.
No, I'm gonna look him up.
So stay tuned because we'll have some Letty dressing swag. We'll have a code that you can put in on their website. We'll go over some of the cool stuff that they have. It's not just the hair product that keeps my hair looking so good and Stash's hair. We're already customers.
His next highest was 14, Stash. After that 27,
right.
it was
14. No, he's gonna beat that this year for sure. I don't know if he's going 29, but
I don't know, man.
No, he's not going 29.
He's not going 29. I don't know if he'll even beat 14, but I think he'll at least crack, 11, 12.
He's had 27 was his highest, then 14, which was the following year, following up his 27, but only 57 games. But then he had 11 and 10. And then other than that, it's always been single digits.
Yeah. I fell for it.
Do we want to recap the 3 losing games? We didn't have Fassi for 2 of them, right?
And I thought that Ranger game was pretty good. We had Legacy in the net again. And I did that first one in the shootout. I didn't really think it was that bad. Or was that Elliott? Was that Elliott that night?
No. No. Wait, was it?
No, it was. New Year's Eve was Elliott.
It was Elliott. New Year's
Eve.
It
was Elliott.
Yeah, because they were back to back. The Panthers, they're the ones that beat the shit out of us.
Lagasse.
That was the worst game in years from the Bolts. And yeah, you're right. The New Year's Eve game wasn't that bad. Shootout lost. What are you going to do when it gets to shootout?
You had Hedman, Point, and Stamkos as your 3 shooters and couldn't find the back of the net.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But you got to give the Rangers credit. They are in that top spot now. They've been on fire lately. They beat the Oilers pretty good the other night. Not that the Oilers are on fire right now at all. They're dumpster fire right now.
They're literally
even with
players.
their 2 stars.
Yeah, they're literally only 2 players.
But the Rangers have really hit their stride, and I've noticed, since we've been playing them, I watched a little bit out of Oilers game. It's Gaudreau, and it's that line that's really heated up for them. And I don't know. I don't think Gaudreau's a guy that can do that all season long. So that might just be a short streak for them. But if their goaltending can do what he did against us,
and it's funny if you go to Gaudreau's Instagram page, they had given him his ring that night and a little ceremony, and he had put pictures of it, and then the Big Rig posted on there, "Didn't you score 2 against us tonight?" And then some of the other players were ragging him, and I thought that was great to see that. Just they always say when you win a Stanley Cup, you'll always be part of a tight knit group, and it shows it when these guys are coming into town. That who do we have left? We have Coleman and Johnson.
Thursday, right?
Yeah, and then Johnson, and.
Well, Johnson's hurt. I don't know if
he might not even be back, but that's April Fool's Day that we have.
Well, he might be back by then. Yeah, for sure. But I didn't even realize.
Back in April.
We do have Coleman next home game Thursday night. We got the call number up. We've never had anyone call us since we've started taking calls last week. So if anyone wants to, give us your take on the game, or
we tested it out and it does work.
813-666-7701 if you want to call in. If not, what else you guys got in store?
Honestly, man, I really don't have much else for this game for tonight. I mean, I feel like there's 3 games where with the injuries they had, COVID protocol, everything they're going through, it was kind of inevitable to have those kind of games. It sucks to see it 3 in a row, but like we said, that the Rangers game wasn't as bad as it seems. And like I said, if you're gonna have that kind of a thing, well, better now better now than late in the season or any other time, really, when you're leading you're leading the league. So, okay, you slip out of first for a little while. Who cares? We don't want to be first place, really, anyways. So
go under the radar.
Yeah, exactly. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. Let's lose a few games. Let's go ahead and let everyone else start, underestimating us. I mean, Lightning fan base will lose their freaking minds and go jump off the
that's what I was going to say.
Expressway. But I'm fine with it.
We have been spoiled these last 2 years. People forget when we lose, and they are losing their shit. And I'm like, okay, number one, I think at the beginning of the season when we did the predictions, and we had some pretty good numbers for that show too. And I don't think any of us picked Tampa to be number one. So, and here we are losing 3 and still number one. No telling what's going to happen with this rest of the season. Olympics, no Olympics, players, no players, whatever. COVID, no bubble, no fans in Canada. I mean, it's just crazy. So, but people, stop losing your shit because we lose some games. Because really, we did not expect to be where we're at right now with what we had at the beginning of the season, especially Game 3, Kucherov going down.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks later, Point going out. So shut the hell up.
You tell me at the beginning of the season that we're going to lose Coop 3 games in, and then we lose Braden Point for 14 games, and coming out of the Christmas break, this team is number 1 in the league.
Yeah.
I would have laughed. And no, I'm sorry, but there's no way. There's no way you think this team would be, I mean, sure, in the mix still, in the playoffs hunt, for sure. Number 1 in the league? No, I would never think that.
And remember, the last team that wasn't named the Tampa Bay Lightning that won the Stanley Cup was in last place at this time when the year that they won it. And I don't know, I think our fans maybe just forget, given what's happened the last 2 years, that it's an 82-game regular season.
Yeah, that's the other team. Yeah, the other thing, you're right. Short season,
marathon.
Maybe people have forgotten how long a real regular season is. And
we've got months to go in the regular season. So
I mean, we've played 35 games. There's 86 games, 82 games, right? Yeah, 82 games. So baseball and hockey always mix up, but 82 games. So we're still not even halfway through the season. We're still 6 games shy of the halfway mark. So there's still a lot of hockey to be played before the second season even begins.
And we're arguably getting our best player back. Definitely our best.
Best player, and probably the best player in the world at what he does.
Yeah. So exciting times with what's going on. Let's take a look at the schedule of what we have coming up. We talked a little bit about the Calgary game and how we've got Blake Coleman coming back. So that's going to be Thursday night. I'm sure Schooley's going to be there. Nope. None of us will be in the house. I'm assuming that
I will be Saturday's game.
Saturday, you got the Bruins coming to town, and then we'll be heading up to Jersey, and then Buffalo for back-to-backs Monday and Tuesday. And we'll be back Tuesday night after the Sabres game. To talk about all these games. Guys, this is a 1, 2, 3, 4 game week for us, and this could easily be a 4-0 week. So we can get right back on track, right back at the top of the standings. I think the only question mark for me is, I guess, the Flames. I haven't really seen them.
Calgary's been really good.
Yeah, so that's going to be a really good game. And then the Bruins, you just never know. Like, we should have lost our last game against the Bruins, if I remember correctly, and we kind of stole that one with that Stammer goal.
Yep.
But Devils and Sabres, those are teams we need to beat. We should beat. So we'll see what happens over the next week. But I think we're in for an exciting week of hockey. They all start at 7 o'clock. I don't think any of the games are on ESPN Plus, so Vassy can watch all of them.
That was funny. I thought of
that's a huge miss. That's a huge miss, and I think that the NHL and ESPN need to nip this in the bud right away and make sure every single player has a free subscription.
Yeah,
and they need to start pimping this shit too.
I thought of Stash as soon as that quote came out.
I'm like, oh geez, here we go. People are gonna have reason now to crap on ESPN Plus. I'm just like, you guys I don't understand. It used to cost over $300, close to $300 for the season ice pass or whatever, ice ticket, whatever it's called, and NHL Center Ice. Sorry, for NHL Center Ice. Now it costs you what if you just get it alone and you don't get the bundle with Disney and Hulu. It's like $5.99 a month. I just don't get it. I just don't understand. You get to watch literally every game except for ones that are in your local market, which is not anything that hasn't been going on for decades in sports broadcasting. That is how it's always been.
Do they even do the Center Ice package anymore?
I don't know. I mean, I still see it on my
So it's cable only. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I mean, with ESPN Plus, it seems like I'll probably turn it on after we sign off here, and
I do all the time.
Probably going to be a bunch of games on.
Yes, there will definitely be.
I'm headed to the airport to welcome the team home.
Well, there you go. That's where you always are.
Hey, if you want, I'll give you my login for ESPN Plus, and you can give it to Vasi.
You can use my creds, Vass.
Cool. Well, that's a look ahead, and man, there's not much else to talk about. What else? Let's go around one more time and let's get the heck out of here because we're big winners tonight. Let's go celebrate. And until next week, we've got 4 games to talk about, 4 games to watch. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Oh, we didn't mention this. They did change the protocols where we can get players back according to CDC guidelines, which is 5 days.
Yeah.
So that's good. So, what Ross tested positive today. So what do they have to do? They have to wait till he tests negative and then 5 days?
Because you can be negative. You can be positive for up to 3 months or something like that. You just have to be symptom free for 5 days.
Yeah, I mean, that's asymptomatic quarantine 5 days. So,
and it sounds like most of the players that have talked about it have been like they haven't really gotten sick, and it sounds like the whole new
so
variant.
he could be back for that road trip. He could be back for that road trip to Jersey and Buffalo.
Back-to-backs.
But it all depends on what happens with Kucherov and who they decide. I think that Colton, out of all the guys, has earned his spot on the roster, and it's probably one of the other guys once he's healthy.
Well, Radish will go. Radish has to go back down.
Radish.
But he's only in for Colton tonight, so you got to imagine there's a second one that goes down.
Right.
So who would that?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Yeah, once everyone is fully back from what they were just with now with Point and Cooch back.
Yep.
There'll be one more to go down, aside from Radish. So, yeah.
Let the speculation begin.
Yeah, right. Well, and hey, we'll have plenty to talk about next week.
Has to be Kachuk. Has to be Kachuk.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it'll be
Nash. You stick with Nash?
Well, the funny thing is, for all the commentary about nothing happening with him on the ice, he's been incredibly steady, and he's actually brought what I felt a little bit more consistent chances. And I think he's kind of looking like a Corey Perry early in the season, where he's getting chances, but the puck isn't quite going in yet. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him kind of, break out and have, 5 or 6 goals here late in the second half of the season.
And I was going to bring up last game because actually we haven't said his name since the Lightning really snuck that deal in there.
Which is a really good thing, honestly, if you ask me, for a guy like that.
We haven't said good or bad about him.
Yeah.
And I was going to bring it up last show, and I got mad after we had signed off and we didn't even say anything about him.
Isn't that his whole thing?
Yeah.
Right.
Since we got him off of waivers, he hasn't been off this team yet.
No.
But, so I think that's an impressive thing.
Yeah.
And he brings that veteran presence again. He hasn't blown a tire.
He's straight on the forecheck.
Yeah. I see Kachuk going before Nash.
Yeah, I do too.
Personally, I'd like to keep the younger guys.
Me too, because
in
he's
the
fast.
NHL, getting the experience, because we're going to need to rely on them even more next season.
Yeah.
But they focused a lot tonight, even though it's 7-2, about that. People expose our blue line right now because we go in too deep. You get in those big bodies with the Nash, the veterans. You have that veteran presence. They're not going to race you down to the other end, but they're going to make sure that they're in the presence that they can potentially get there. So I like Coop said, it's going to be hard to figure out, and it's a good bad problem to have.
Yeah. Yep.
Cool.
Let's go.
All right. You guys got anything else?
Nah.
Go Bolts.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, awesome game tonight. Great bounce back game. And we'll be back Tuesday night after back-to-backs after the Sabres game up in New York, hopefully.
More on Letty dressing.
And if you're going to buy some Letty dressing, wait till we get our code.
Yeah, I was going to say, wait till we get our code. Shout out to our new sponsor, but wait to support them until you can get the code. So that way they know that we are the ones that are sending you to support them. And we'll definitely work on this next week, looking now that we're out of the holiday season, about looking at a game, an away game here. We can set up a watch party, get everyone together, and do a live broadcast since we now have the technology.
Maybe.
We have the technology. I said we have the operational skills. Do we have the operational skills is the question.
Yeah, we might be able to. We've been thinking about it.
We need a producer.
Fully remote show. Not the live PD version that you guys are used to.
Yes, not that.
All right. Well,
game by the arena.
More to come. Make sure you follow us, join Thunderbolt, Shooter in the Stash, all that good stuff. This has been We the Thunder. Don't forget to be the Thunder.
That's it?